And welcome to the next installment of the Dayz Spotlight. And this episode, we are shining the spotlight on Mr. Music himself, Fubarbundy. Fubar, how are you today, mate?
Mr. Music, I like that.
Ha ha ha. Here comes the music.
Boom, 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 boom.
You have definitely, I think, in my opinion, mate, you've got the catchiest song of any YouTuber I've seen. Not just because I'm so Dayz biased, but that is the catchiest fucking song, mate. You just find yourself bopping along to it as it starts rolling.
So happy the first video I found it. So happy. And it was just by accident the way I kind of worked out to be an intro too.
Yep. No, it's brilliant, mate. It is absolutely first class. Like a lot of the stuff that you do, but we'll talk more about that later. So, a few questions to get to know a little bit more about you, Bundy the person. How old are you, buddy?
I'm ready. I'm 25.
25. And a missus, kids, family, anything like that?
Yes, no, no.
Yes, no, no. Nice and simple, to the point. What do you do for a living?
I work in retail in a dirty dungeon, liquor and bottle shop stores kind of thing.
You supply a revice to the masses.
Well, I used to do bartender stuff, but because I don't drink myself and I'm not a big fan of alcohol too much, I indulge, but dealing with drunk people is not my deal, so I go to a place where you can just kick the drunk people out like, no sir, how'd you get?
I think that would surprise a lot of people, mate. The persona that you get from you seems like you're a party animal and the sort of bloke who would be an absolute legend on the piss.
I'm crazy enough as it is without it, so...
So do you have any other hobbies outside of gaming, mate?
This is a good question. Hobbies. Since the YouTube thing, not really. I just kind of, if I'm not working, I'm playing. If I'm not playing, I'm recording and editing.
Yep.
And if I'm not doing that, I'm thinking about doing one of them. So,
sweet.
Kind of boring kind of guy.
Now,
unless you want to count sports, but...
Yep. Now, the next question is one I usually ask, but I also had it as a viewer question. What is the origin of your name? And Rescue Shrek, this was my favourite question, actually come up with what he believes the definition of Fubarbundy means. Is it fucked up beyond all recognition, but unbelievably not dead yet?
Unbelievably not dead yet?
But unbelievably not dead yet. Fubarbundy.
Unbelievably. That's pretty cool, but no, it's unfortunately not dead yet. It describes a very bad situation where you're just kind of waiting for death and hoping for it.
Yep.
Describes my Dayz experiences pretty goddamn well.
Okay, so who or what got you into gaming first that you can remember, mate?
Ooh. My first ever memory was N64 Mario.
The
old normal Mario, yes. Christmas morning, waking up, Nintendo, freaked out, started playing it. And then Donkey Kong and the likes.
The Nintendo 64, I think, just factors into so
just,
many people's memory.
Yeah, that was just childhood stuff. First ever experience of looking properly into games.
Yep.
Halo 1 on the PC, Combat Evolved online multiplayer.
Wasn't that just an amazing game at the time?
It was the best ever. That's where I got my name Fubar from. That was the first ever online name gamertag thing I ever used.
Yep.
Fubar for that game.
What's your favourite game of all time?
I took it so seriously. I mean, Dayz's given me a lot. I want to say Dayz. I'm very partial to like the Halos and like the Last of Us and the Telltales of Walking Dead.
Last of Us,
very simple.
What a game!
Mm-hmm.
The feels that game gave you. My missus, she's a true casual gamer. Like she'll play, Bejeweled and little things like that. We actually got her. There was a bloke on YouTube. I can't remember who did it, but he recorded all of the cutscene moments and enough of the gameplay to make the storyline fit, but he recorded it all as this massive series on YouTube. We actually sat there with her and watched it, and she said they need to make a movie of that. That is just fucking phenomenal.
I'd watch the hell out of that.
Oh, wouldn't you? Just an amazing story.
The Telltales of Walking Dead, the end of the first season, I'll admit I cried like an absolute girl at that. Have you ever played it?
No, my little fella has. He's a big
Oof.
fan of them.
It's so good. Worth checking out, definitely.
So what was your first PC, brother?
First PC. Probably a really old Dell, like a family one in the lounge room.
Yep.
My first own personal one was like an old Toshiba laptop that could barely run Age of Empires 2.
Oh,
but
I love the Age of
got
Empires
the job
games.
done. Oh, such a big fan. I've got so many hours in Age of Empires 3.
Yep.
So good.
And what about your first console? Obviously, you've already answered that. It was a Nintendo 64, wasn't it?
Yes. My first own one that I bought myself was a 360 though.
Xbox 360.
Not
Not a bad console, other than that dreaded red ring of death.
Oh, I had 2 Xboxes that did that.
Oh.
Pain in the ass.
You know, I hear
There's
so
an
many
old trick
people had it.
though.
I never got it once myself.
There was an old trick where you cover it in towels and blankets and really overheat it.
Yep.
It'll shut off, and when it turns back on, it's good. It actually worked too.
There you go. Hot tip for any of you people out there still with one of the legacy consoles. And if it doesn't work,
Put it up and overheat it.
you can always get in contact with Bundy for a refund.
Terms and conditions apply.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about your editing, mate. So why did you start making videos yourself?
Editing?
Yeah.
I remember first wanting to was in the mod. I'll be honest, I watched a lot of Frankie's videos and I thought, you know what? I do that shit on the regular. I could do that too.
Yep.
I just was nowhere near as good as an editor, and I tried so many times, and then eventually when I was going to, the standalone was announced. I'm like, yep, when that comes out, I'm doing it. And my first 3 videos on that, where I just hit the record button and talked, they're on private because, God, they were cringy. They were so cringy. I can't handle it. It makes me cry.
I'm going to ask you something right now, mate.
Yes.
Will you send me a link to one of them as a special exclusive for all the people who watch this video? We'll put it in the comment of the video, and if they so choose, they can click and they can watch it.
Okay, yeah, I'll do it.
You pick which one, brother.
Though.
Oh my God,
very
that is
first one?
amazing. We're going to get to see early access to Mr. Fubarbundy. I am
Oh,
super
God.
excited to see this, mate, because I'm such a fan of your editing, and I know I'm not even in your ballpark, let alone your level, but I know how much my editing has changed from the beginning to now, and I'll be fascinated to see how much yours has changed from the beginning to now. You can still leave it as private, but we'll just put the link in the comments of the video.
I don't think there was any editing back then. I just hit the record button and let it go. And it was just me awkwardly stumbling through weird commentary.
I'm super hyped for it, mate, and I can guarantee you that the people who watch this are going to be super hyped as well.
Oh, God. I apologize for your ears in advance.
No, mate, I think it's going to be amazing. I really do. Oh my God, you've made my day. I'm sitting here with a smile from ear to ear, brother.
It's not my very first video. My very first video was an old... It's a Half-Life or Gary's mod.
Yep.
It was The Hidden. That one's still up there on my old Rio channel. That's still there, but I didn't commentate. I was just editing with a cool piece of music.
Yep. Sweet. So, out of all the videos you've done, what's your favourite?
Oh, God. Oh, no. It's like asking your favourite child. Can you pick? There's been so many significant videos that have changed like the course of the channel.
Okay, then maybe not so much your favourite, but what's your best one? The one that for you just is a memory that you look back on and go, that was phenomenal.
Ooh. The whole Dick Pigs video with Alan kind of changed the course of the video and made me Stephen and that whole sort of thing. And I put so much time and effort into editing my La Familia videos, though, with Joe and Mary.
Yep.
I really like them one and the story that we had. So maybe the ones, only because I put so much time into it.
Okay. What recording software do you use, brother?
DxTory.
DxTory?
Most definitely.
And editing software?
Vegas.
You're
14
another
Pro.
Vegas lad.
Yes, probably the only one of very few people that has purchased it legitimately.
Again, I think you've just ruined a lot of people's impression of you. I'm certain they all think that you'd be the sort of person to pirate it.
Well, in the early days.
Say nothing more, mate. You can't incriminate yourself. Okay, so now a few questions about Dayz. You've sort of already answered this one. Did you play the mod? Yes, you did.
Yes.
What did you think?
I think I've sunk. There's an old program called Xfire. It's no longer available. It's been obsolete since Steam.
Mm-hmm.
But I had over 8,000 recorded hours on the Operation Arrowhead thing for it, and that was only when the program was open. It doesn't record when it's not open. So I probably had over 10,000 hours of that game. I know lifed it so hard, especially the Epoch mod.
Yeah. My
God, did I waste my life on that?
So what is it about Dayz that makes you love it so much?
Honestly, I liked just having that freedom of being able to just find people and kill them back in the day in the mod. But now it's more of just in the standalone meeting people and the interactions that you have. And when you meet that one person that has the super duper cool banters and you can just go on that epic story and have fun, it just makes my night.
AKA
and it makes
Alan.
it so easy to edit, make a video. Yeah, Alan as well. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So why do you still play it? When so many people are stepping away from the game, what makes you still play it?
A lot of people still say that Dayz is not fun anymore, but really it's as fun as you want to make it. I can have so much fun if you meet the right people. You do get really frustrated when people scream friendly and they don't trust people, and then the minute you stand still, you get shot, which is the last couple of months for me, but still, you make the fun that you had.
Couldn't agree more, mate. You summed that up very, very well.
Mm-hmm.
If
the tools are there,
sorry,
it's what you make of it.
Sorry,
the tools to have fun are there. It's what you make of it.
Yeah, exactly. So if you could add anything to the game, what would it be and why?
Ooh, could add to the game. As much as people want base building, I don't think I really want base building.
I'm not a fan of it really either. I don't mind having a barrel stashed here or there, but that said, though, and I think this would apply to you definitely as well, I can see that finding bases, particularly those that are manned by a community or something like that, I can see that making for some awesome Fubarbundy content.
This is true. The only thing I don't like about bases is that you have to stay on the same server. You can't go between servers. Yep. So, especially if someone's making a video and they find out what server you're on and you've got a base there, rip base.
Yeah.
Especially if you're streaming.
Yeah, it does make it very hard.
I was a big fan of the AS50 in the mod. I want snipers like that, them one-shot ones. I know it sucks because of the camping, but still, I'd love to have them in the game.
Silo was pretty much the same sort of comment he made, was that he misses the fear that some of those weapons would induce in you. The going across an open area in the mod was fear-inducing, because if there was a good sniper there, bang, you were dead. Wasn't a case of you're unconscious or a flash of the screen and maybe the scream of pain, the bones broken. It was, you are dead.
You are dead, yep. The old DMR, that gun.
Yep.
That was Bay.
Big question for you. And this is sort of ties into a viewer question, but I'll still ask it because they ask it in a bit more detail. But who is your favourite Dayz content creator?
Do they have to still be making content, or can it be anybody that's made content?
Anybody.
Well, definitely the Godfather, Frankie, of course.
Yep. I don't think there's a single person who hasn't been influenced by that guy.
Very true. He probably has made the game as popular as it is through his videos in the day.
Yeah, definitely.
Close second to Moon and that crew.
Moon and Psy Syndicate. That early stuff was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Status reports. Do you read them? And if so, what do you think of them?
Hell no, I don't read them.
No?
It's like, no. I go to the bullet points and then that's it.
Do you watch any of the videos that the likes of Septic Falcon or Silo or Kenst that have made on them?
If I know there's something interesting and like big in the update, then I'll probably go watch them. But for the most part, and if it's just a small patch or something, somebody will eventually tell me what's in there.
So why don't you read them?
I don't like reading in general. Just a big slab of text.
Yeah.
If they have community members and leftover staff members, why can't they make a video of their own reading it out?
Yeah.
I'd happily listen to it.
Yep. That probably
Some
sort of
lazy.
ties into this next question. What, if any, advice would you give to the dev team if they happen to watch this? Well, you've given one bit of good advice there. Why don't they make a video themselves of the status report? What else, though?
Well, it's pretty hard to tell because they're not very transparent with their development, are they? They kind of keep things pretty on lockdown. So it's hard to tell. Maybe let people know where they're at and why they're not at places they want to be with the development. I think that's where a lot of people get angry. They just don't know where they are. And if they do tell us, we get hyped. They can't come through with it. We get pissed off. It's
but they are kind of, as you sort of said then, in a roundabout way, they're caught between a rock and a hard place. Everyone who wants to criticise them goes back to the roadmap they released. And now they say that was an internal goals thing. But they get slammed because they didn't achieve the road marks or the benchmarks they set in the roadmap. So, you know, it's kind of like if they do release it, they get slammed if they don't achieve it, and because they're not releasing it, they're getting slammed. So, I don't know. I wouldn't want their job for the world.
Yeah, true. And I think Brian Hicks said it pretty well. I remember buying Rust when that first came out, and for a good while, it was just dead in the water. That game was pretty dodgy, and then they spent like a year in development to put it where it is now, and look where it is now. People have made huge channels off it. I think it's just a time thing. It's just Dayz taking an extra couple of years.
Yeah. Now, I've got a theory on what your issue is here, but what is your biggest gripe with Dayz?
Right now, it's the players. I think the last 2 or 3 months I've been playing, you'll find those people in game and they'll be super sketched out when they meet you, and they'll be like, oh, it's really hard to trust people, you know, they just kill me, I got trust issues, cry, woof woof. And you trust them. The minute you stand still or try to bandage, they shoot you, and it's just, oh, it's so frustrating. They stood there for a good minute telling me they can't trust people. The minute I turn my back, they shoot me in the head.
Yeah.
Oh, that gets me every time. That makes my blood boil.
But that's the beauty of Dayz, mate. It creates situations that just bring out some pure emotion in you that, when you get turned on like that, it's like, oh, just have to get up and walk away.
And not even that, like that could make, you know, good videos to go back and then get some revenge, but they always just immediately run off as far away as they can so they don't, I guess, get revenged on.
Yeah.
I don't know. You know what I mean? Yeah. It's getting really annoying.
I thought you were going to say them turning off being able to talk to people when they were unconscious.
That too, but I'm so used to it now, and it makes me sad.
Yeah.
I've just kind of accepted it.
What are you looking forward to the most in Dayz?
Ooh, when it's working, when there's no bugs, glitches.
So pretty much you're looking forward to beta.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to when it's working again and all the old people come back and there's lots of people playing again, and easy to meet people and friendly people and go on those adventures again instead of just having to try so hard for it.
Has your style of play changed at all? If so, how and why?
Yes. For my first year and a half, I was nothing but lone wolf. I refused to play with other people because I always found it awkward. But now, lately, all I'm doing is playing with other people.
Yep.
Especially like Alan and the such. You can see in my videos, it's just other people and myself playing more group styles. I used to complain about it too, but now I do it, so I'm Stephen the Hypocrite. Hi.
See, I love your group stuff, but personally, my favourite is your lone wolf stuff. I just love it when you're on your own and you find those situations where you meet the likes of an Alan or the La Familia. Well, you weren't technically alone because you did have Joanna on with you, but she wasn't with you at the time when you met them at first, was she?
No, we usually used to play on Saturdays, Slut Squad Saturdays, or Salute Squad, want to be PG, and Odessa we played with couldn't play that night, so we're like, oh, do we play? Yeah, I think we just kind of played, but not together, and we ran into each other on the same server anyway. So I was like, hey, I met homies and cool people. Come meet them.
It's a good video, that one. I'll have to remember to put a link to it here. Okay, now for some rapid... Oh, one last question. I almost forgot it. What are you most looking forward to in regards to modding once they open it up to that?
Ooh. I'm kind of hesitant about the modding because then there'll be certain servers that do certain things the way you like, and you kind of have to stick with those servers instead of being able to go to whichever server whenever. You know what I mean? Like if one server you can spawn in with guns and stuff, you have to keep playing on that server. And I guess this is just from the content creator standpoint, because then people can figure out what server you're on. But
yeah, that's a good point. I hadn't considered that.
No, but probably things to do with barricading I think would be pretty cool, like finding a random house out north somewhere you can actually barricade it. Like board up the windows and stuff. I reckon that would be cool. You can stash some guns and some stuff everywhere. Looking forward to that.
Awesome. Okay, now for some rapid fire questions. Say the first thing that comes to your mind when I read out each little sentence or word. You ready?
So you want one word?
As many words as it takes for you, but just as quickly as possible, and the first thing that pops into mind.
Hit me with it.
Favourite long-range weapon?
DMR.
Least favourite long-range weapon?
Mosin.
Favourite automatic weapon?
M4.
Least favourite auto weapon?
AUG.
KOS?
Shit.
First person or third person?
Third.
Favourite server?
Pepsi.
Favourite place on the map?
Ooh. Pissy right now.
Public or private?
I want public, but you have to do private.
Yeah, it is. It's kind of just the way it is. I know totally where you're coming from there. Okay, now for my favourite segment, viewer questions.
Oh, God.
Hawken Rouge, the Flying Medic. What motivates you to keep playing Dayz?
Right now, it's the people that I play with. It's a lot of fun, and they make it a lot easier to have fun and record. Like, especially Alan, that guy, we just click, and he could just... I just let him do his thing, I can record him, and funnies happen.
Yep. The Lonely Bandit.
And also because I have him.
Has a few questions for you. Yeah. What does he think of the Dayz community in general? Good, bad, or toxic?
Right now, I don't like the word toxic, but it kind of is. It kind of is. It's just full of people that want to stab you in the back and large groups that just don't care about anybody else.
How were you exposed to Dayz? Was it through Frankie's videos, or did you find out about Dayz in another way?
I was really keen on zombie survival games, and I remember for a good, probably half a year, every couple of weeks, Googling that, and eventually one day a link come up that wasn't purple that I haven't clicked on before, and it was Dayz. I'm like, oh, what's this? I'll check it out. And then through Frankie and his videos, I learnt about it and found it.
Who are your top 3 content creators right now, YouTubers or streamers, for Dayz?
Ooh. I don't watch that much, to be honest.
No?
The first one that comes to mind that I often watch is Morningwood. He's pretty cool. I like him. He's always commenting on my videos. I like that dude. Morningwood.
Okay.
He's a bit of a small channel, but I like his style, and I always watch his videos.
Yep.
Jeez. This is hard. The Running Man's pretty cool too. I like to watch his streams.
Yep.
I don't usually talk, but I like to chill out and watch.
He's got a good mix of PvP and interaction. That's why I love the guy. It's not just one or the other.
Yeah. And then I'd probably say someone like Tope and Joe, only because I'm biased and I've played with them.
Toprek. He is one of the best PvPers I know of. He is phenomenal, that guy.
Oh, yeah.
Now, we kind of sort of mentioned this, but we'll cover it again as well. If you could add one item or game mechanic to Dayz, what would it be?
Definitely bring back the ability to sprint and melee. I complain about it all the time. If you watch some of my earlier videos, that was all I did. Just wait until I take some shots, find an axe, and then just... In my... good example is in my first rampage. There's a little clip there where I'm running past the church. I'm running to the church, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm just sitting there and running behind this guy, chopping away, and he just dead. It was so good. Some people might think it's OP, but is it OP or is that guy bad for just running in a straight line?
They need to work on the physics of running as in general. So you should be able to sprint and swing, not just keep on sprinting, but you think about it, you should be able to charge at someone and take a swing at them, and then you'd slow down and then you have to sprint again to follow them. But also, I think someone else mentioned it as well about like zigzagging. Duck and weave, serpentine. It's insane. Whereas you play like Battlegrounds, it's a lot more punishing on you being caught in the open.
Mm-hmm. And I guess they'd have to wait until they can do some sort of a weight system as well for something like that.
Hopefully all of these things will be resolved when they hit beta, mate.
True.
Okay, Marbo516 asks, do you have any plans to make a video less comedy oriented and more dark and serious?
You mentioned that question to me when I made that fillets video.
Yes.
I always kind of stick to the comedy stuff, but one day we were getting just absolutely shit on in Dayz, and Alan had enough of it. So he was in Berezino, and so he shot a few people and put it in a barrel, and then I joined like halfway through, and we're like, you know what? People want to shit on us, we'll shit on them, and we'll put them in a barrel and call it fillets.
And it's stuck. It's now a ongoing little running gag between yous all.
Fillets.
Fillets. Fillets.
Fillets.
No, fillets.
Ooh, fillets.
Triggered.
Twigged.
Okay, Jackster123 has 2 questions for you. If he was able to meet you, what is the chances of him surviving?
Honest answer?
Yeah.
Probably, well, it depends. If he can do something interesting or funny and make me laugh, then I might let him live. But if he's like the majority of people that are boring, I'll probably kill him and put him in a barrel.
And then he also asks, what is your favourite weapon on Dayz standalone and why will it be used to kill him?
Why will it be used to kill him? I like how we added that in.
Yeah.
Kind of a fan of the ones you can hide in your backpack, to be honest. So then when people approach you, it's like, hey, he hasn't got a gun. Guess again, motherfucker. Bow. So probably like a... What do they call it? There's a name for it. The Shornoff shotgun.
Yep.
Big fan of that one.
I don't think you can go past the MP5 for something you can fit in your backpack.
I was about to say the UMP.
Oh, the UMP.
Takes the cake. Yes, definitely. Hands down favourite.
Doesn't get enough love because bloody mags for it are so hard to find.
Oh, yeah. And just to find the gun alone. God damn.
Yep. Okay, John818 wants to know how you are able to take insane shots with the horrible sway, and did Alan ever get his dick pics?
What me and Alan do is none of his business, and the sway, I don't think I've ever actually hit an insane, like, sort of long distance shot. At close medium range, it's easy to control the sway, but at long range, it's just not even worth wasting the ammo, to be honest.
Yeah.
And plus, for every epic shot, there's probably about 100 shitty ones that I'm never going to use, so
Yep.
There's that.
Probably a lot of just that trick of editing where usually the epic shots end up making for a great video, and the times where you miss it and you die doesn't end up making for video content. So that's why it probably looks like you're doing better than the average gamer.
True. And if I ever miss, I try to make something funny out of it and just scream like an idiot and put it in Encounter's video.
Okay, Connor P. King. What servers can he find you on? Now, you mentioned Pipsy. There's servers here in Australia for those of you who are overseas.
Yes.
What else, though?
Geez. To be honest, I usually just sort the list by most populated and join the one with the lowest ping, to be honest.
Yep.
So it's usually high pop American. Hang on, do I remember my soggy Weet-Bix? Never eats. West Coast servers.
Yep.
Often, anyway.
Two Dogs Gaming, surfing or skateboarding?
I live pretty inland in the bush, so I'd have to go skating. There's not a lot of beaches here.
And the important question of life, shaven or bush?
Shaven or bush? One word. Maintenance.
Maintenance. Very well answered, my friend.
Maintenance.
Okay. I know the backstory to this one, but for those who don't know, FLXFM wants to know, where do you and Alan know each other from?
Oh, that's easy. My dick pics video. Go and watch that one. That's where I first met Alan.
Yep.
We have spoken about it a lot. He was completely wasted. Oh, not completely wasted. He was drunk at the time, and yeah, he just wanted a dick pic, and I was the guy around that got harassed for one.
That made for one of the funniest moments I've ever seen in Dayz, mate. It was absolutely hilarious.
I say it all the time. I wish I had that footage again, editing the way I do now, because I was in sort of a free hip hop music sort of frame of mind then, and I kind of ruined it with some of that music. But God, what I'd do if I had the chance to edit that again.
No, it's why I always say interaction is the best way to play the game. I know some people don't like interaction and that, but if you're just shooting, all you're getting is the same rinse and repeat. By actually taking the chance to interact with people, you get into some of the most bizarre, and you seem to have this knack for finding the most bizarre experiences out there, mate. It's phenomenal. I wish I could have 1/10 of the luck you have in meeting funny people.
I think it's just the crazy brings out the crazy in other people.
Yeah. Okay. Happy Canuck in New Zealand asks, after the last meetup that didn't go so well, do you have plans for another one?
Yes, I do. We've spoken a little bit about it and plans to do it, but I'm waiting on the NBN thingy here in Australia, fibre optic connection, fast internet, so I can do a bunch of streaming with it.
I know, very exciting.
And once I get that, I'll be doing lots of meetups.
Awesome. Walloon 5 wants to know, how do you come up with the ideas for things to do in the world?
Me playing Dayz is just like pissing into the wind. You never know what's going to happen. I just play and look for people and try to do things with them, and if they don't, then I'll try and do morbid things with them and kill them in a funny way, I guess.
Yep. And he also asks, when modding comes out, what mod do you hope people make up?
Have I got an answer for you? So I'm a pretty big fan of the Survivor games.
Yep.
You know, the big thing, get all the streamers together, kill each other.
Yep.
I would really like if somebody could mod it to have like a camera to fly around with. So then people can make their own Survivor games and stream it and have the good view like they do, and the health bars and all that stuff.
So many events I've done in the past, mate. You know, we begged them for access to the stuff they use for Survivor games, but for whatever reasons they keep that stuff internal because it's still experimental or something like that. But
I'm pretty sure they just bought a hack and used that.
Yeah.
Brian Hicks hacker confirmed.
Brian Hicks, please respond.
Please respond.
Nice.
This calls for a muzz.
Yeah, calls for a muzz. Nice Dibble reference there for those of you who don't know what we're on about. Okay, final questions, mate. How many people do you think they should have per server?
Ooh, honestly, in a perfect world, I'd like... Well, I'm a guy of interaction, so I'd like more, and I think somewhere of maybe 100, 120 would be good, but
my
maybe
mind
that
always
might...
sits around the 100 mark.
Yeah, that might... I don't know, it depends. There's a lot of towns they've added in, so maybe 120. More the merrier for me, anyway.
The big question, very pressing one at the moment. What advice would you give to people thinking about buying Dayz?
Have friends to play with.
Yep.
Have friends to play with that know the game and the ins and outs of it. Because if you're new coming into DayZ, the way it is, you will get lost and not like the game.
Mm-hmm. Now, you can clearly remember when you heard about DayZ Standalone. In your opinion, is DayZ going to be the game you hoped it would be when you first heard about the standalone project?
I have faith.
Yep.
I know they've got... they explained the one time I did read a status report, they explained it pretty well, how they've got dependencies, and when they fix those big dependencies, all the little ones will fall in line.
Yep.
So I'm hoping once they get some big things out of the way, like the animation and
a lot of stuff seems to be tied into the player controller. I keep on hearing that mentioned myself. Once they get the player controller in 0.63, so many of the issues we've got will be fixed.
Yeah, well, the game pretty much revolves around what the character does, so they get that sorted, and hopefully less lag and desync, network mesh or connection, whatever they call it. I'm down for that to be fixed. The
last question, my friend. You sort of answered this, but what can we expect from you in the future? Now, the big exciting news is you're getting NBN, which for those of you who aren't here in Australia, that means he's getting fibre cable internet. So he's going to go from freakishly slow speeds of 0.5 to 1 megabyte upload to,
if I'm lucky,
10 to 20 meg upload speeds, where he's going to be able to upload videos in a couple of hours, as opposed to usually takes about a day, I think, for you, doesn't it?
3 or 4 days. Yeah. It's a 20-minute video. It works out to be about 20 gigs. So yeah.
Wow.
Painful to sit there and watch, and I can't play games either while it's doing that because it's just too laggy. But yes, future NBN, fast internet, regular streaming, and geez, in terms of videos, it's really how quickly the devs can get the game coming along. Otherwise, it's just going to be what I can make of it and what happens when I play.
When can we expect another Rampage?
Ooh, well, spoiler alert, me and Alan are in talks, so maybe soon.
Awesome, mate. They're some of my favourite videos, is your Rampages. I just sit there and again think, how the hell does he manage to get everything fall into place for him with these sorts of things? It's amazing stuff.
That's why there's only 5 of them. Because I could just go around and kill a bunch of people, but it'd just be killing on sight, bullshit, and PvP. I like to have, like my first one was so good, I just rocked up into a lecture, everyone was in a gunfight, there was no chance of talking, so I was like, okay, I'll kill you all. Done.
Nah, brilliant work, mate, brilliant work. Any last thing you would like to say, my friend?
Not really. Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure, mate. Thank you for coming. That's I'm honoured that someone with... I've got to say, this is more a comment than anything, mate. I remember finding your channel when you were probably about 1,000 to 2,000 subs, and your growth has just been outstanding. When so many other people out there are complaining that DayZ is dying and all the rest of it, my answer to them is, go and look at Fubarbundy. You tell me the game is dying when this guy is... He makes content based on needing people in the game, and he's still able to keep on producing content. You can't tell me the game is going through a slump, there's no denying, but you can't tell me this game is dying when this bloke is... How many... What are you at now? 40,000 plus? Getting close to 50k?
Yeah, somewhere around 43, I think, thousand maybe.
43,000, so we can expect a 50k special in probably the next month, I'm going to guess.
Ooh, hopefully. That'd be nice.
That would be nice, mate. That would be nice. But I have to say, mate, it's been such a pleasure watching someone with your ability, your editing ability and your content creation ability. Just go gangbusters, mate. It's amazing.
Yes. I'm glad we could keep this under an hour for you.
Fantastic, mate. So on this note, we will end it here. I want to thank you once again, mate, for taking the time. It's an honour to have you in the channel. I know we know each other outside of gaming now as well, but it's an honour that you'd still agree to do this, mate, and answer some questions, and I hope you enjoyed yourself.
My pleasure. Much my pleasure.
Would you like to say it for me?
Here comes the music.
Ciao for now.
Ciao for now.
Love your words.
Okay, love you, bye.